Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 28th, 2025, and the program is Inside Nigeria. My name is Jennifer, your host on the program. On today's show, we are only going to be looking at front headline stories, what the papers are saying, that is national newspapers within Nigeria, including Nigeria's most influential leadership. Let's go there. Let's see what leadership has on its menu this Tuesday. Kaduna governor defends negotiation with bandits, declares it's better than losing lives, says only victims' families will understand. ACF Arewa use back Ubasani. Again, 7 farmers killed in Benue. Kickers to the leading story today on Leadership Tuesday, January 28, 2025. Kaduna governor defense negotiation with bandits. Of course, his predecessor also did same with bandits. That is a Malam Nasi El-Rufai. Beneath that, we have still on Leadership Gold Standard Awards picture series, and today's picture series is on the Group Managing Director, Leadership Group Limited, Muazu Elize, presenting nomination letter for Governor of the Year award to Kano State Governor Engineer Abba Kabir Yusuf, while the Deputy Governor Aminu Abdusalam Gwazo looks on at the Government House in Kano. Hear what he said in response to that. I was surprised when I heard of the award. I never knew we were being watched to that extent. Governor Yusuf, Governor of the Year 2024. Congratulations to the governor. Moving ahead to other stories on the cover of Leadership, PDP crisis, Southeast leaders reject meeting with NWC. That is also the leading story on another paper we have on our menu this Tuesday. PDP crisis, Southeast leaders reject meeting with NWC, that is National Working Committee. Court asks to stop sacking of CCT chair. AFCON 2025, Super Eagles to battle Tunisia, Uganda, Tanzania in group stage. Opposition slams Ododo over 2 projects in 1 year. The story is on page 4 of Leadership newspaper. Opposition slams Ododo. Ododo is the governor of Kogi State, over 2 projects in 1 year. Moving towards the masthead, hunger insecurity threatening Africa's democracy. Bawumia Shetima Obi. The story is on page 25 of Leadership. And on the business boss, we have 160 billion naira USSD debt. 5 banks rush to meet this connection deadline. As the Nigerian Communications Commission's NCC January 27 deadline expired yesterday, at least 5 of the 9 indebted banks have made payments, signaling progress in addressing the long-standing 160 billion naira debt dispute over unstructured supplementary service data (USSD) infrastructure cost. The NCC had in a January 15 notice warned that banks which fail to settle their debts would face disconnection from USSD services, a critical platform for mobile banking. Such disconnection would significantly disrupt financial transactions for millions of Nigerians who rely on USSD services for essential banking activities. These are paragraphs under that leading story. 160 billion naira debt, USSD debt. 5 banks rush to meet this connection deadline. And I thought the masthead of Leadership will be having a celebration of the awardees since November last year. Leadership Award reinforces our huge governance records. That's Governor of the Year 2024, Governor of Osun State, Governor Adeleke. With that, we move to the page 3 of Leadership, where we have our stand. Today's stand is on Vandals, enemies within power sector. Vandals, enemies within power sector. Is no longer news that the nation is being thrown into darkness due to the activities of vandals on our power system. And today's stand, Vandals, enemies within power sector. The relentless assault on Nigeria's power infrastructure has reached alarming proportions. In just 6 days this January, over 18 transmission towers were vandalized in Rivers, Abia, and Kano states, while parts of Abuja were plunged into darkness due to vandalized underground cables. This systematic destruction of critical national assets represents criminal activity and economic sabotage that threatens Nigeria's development and security. Paragraphs from today's stand on leadership, vandals, enemies within our sector. From our stand, we move to the back page of leadership, where we have a guest column with Ikedi Isiguzo, and he's writing on Siriake Dixon, 59 applauses for Dean Politics of Selfless Service. Siriake Dixon, 59 applauses for Dean Politics of Selfless Service. Guest column with Ikedi Isiguzo. Ikezi Ikuzuto is the editor-in-chief, Momentum African Media Comments, majorly on public issues. However, we actually have two back page or cover pages today, and we move inside where we have Tuesday column with Abdurrauf Aliyu, and today is writing on America First Readers. Tuesday column with Abdurrauf Aliyu, America First Readers. I'll read the quote. Trump, the consummate showman, has once again set the stage for what he promises will be a spectacle of American renewal. But as with all sequels, one must ask, is the plot thickening, or is this just the original screenplay? That's a quote from that American First Readers from Tuesday columnist Abdurrauf Aliyu. So for continuation of these columns, guest column, the continuation of our stand, headline stories and inside stories, don't forget to log on to the website of Leadership to read more, www.leadership.ng. From Leadership, we move over to the next paper on our menu, and that is The Punch. The Punch leading story says PDP crisis, uncertainty as NWC members shun Southeast meeting. PDP crisis, uncertainty as NWC members shun Southeast meeting. Working committee officials dismiss Damaku's call for stakeholders parley. Alleged meeting meant to support Anyanwu. We also have a picture of national conference that held federal government restates commitment to better Nigeria. Of course, this was made during the in Abuja recently. Still on newspaper, Farotimi Afenifere Obi hail Afe Babalola for withdrawing defamation suit. Gospel singer pleads not guilty to killing Nasarawa copper. How police foiled Shaja terrorist planned attack on Kano. Beside the masthead of the Punch, Neiti EFCC collaborate to recover $6 billion, 66 billion naira crude proceeds. And above the masthead of the Punch, Afenifere can others oppose push for Sharia in Southwest. MDA spent 16 billion naira on Esther code compensations in 2 years, coming from budget. Dangote refinery to receive 12 million barrels crude, US crude report. Dangote refinery to receive 12 million barrels US crude report. With that, we also conclude the front headline stories review on The Punch this Tuesday. For more, log on to the website of The Punch as we head to the next paper on our menu, and that is The Guardian. The Guardian says Trump's presidency, US aid suspension may cost Nigeria $1 billion in health funding, orders yearly. Trump's presidency, US aid suspension may cost Nigeria $1 billion in health funding, orders yearly. Beneath that, Shettima blames democratic failure in Africa on complex pressures. EU tells ECOWAS find new ways to coexist with Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. EU tells ECOWAS find new ways to coexist with Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. Tijaniya Maulud, police insist terrorists escape to Cameroon, IEDs recovered in Kano. Road crashes claim 5,421 lives in 2024, up by 7%. 2027 more hurdles for opposition as Obi rejects coalition, PDP crisis deepens. How Ooni prevailed on Babalola to drop defamation case against Parotimi. The news continues on page 7 of The Guardian. And with that, we conclude review of front headline stories on The Guardian this Tuesday. For more, log on to www.guardian.ng. From The Guardian, we move over to Daily Sun. Daily Sun says 187.6 billion naira grain loan under threat. Dodged by difficulty identifying genuine farmers, political interference. Leading story today on Daily Sun. 187.6 billion naira grain loan under threat. Dodged by difficulty identifying genuine farmers, political interference. Apprehension as rabies outbreak hits 2 Benue local governments. PDP NWC splits over Southeast stakeholders meeting. Politicians orders trying to hijack cash transfer register, says humanitarian minister. Politicians orders trying to hijack cash transfer register, says humanitarian minister. Government evade Abuja community, abduct family of 4. And towards the masthead of Daily Sun, Obi rejects coalition for purpose of only grabbing power in 2027. Article insists Nigeria's democracy at crossroads. Labour Party 2023 presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi has dissociated himself from any political coalition that would have single mission of grabbing power during the 2027 general election. He said the country at the moment needs more than mere grabbing of power. He argued that previous coalition in Nigeria's politics has basically been for the purpose of power grabbing, stressing that he cannot imagine a situation politicians abandon the country to collapse in a desperation to grab political power. He spoke on the sideline of a national conference titled Strengthening Democracy in Nigeria in Abuja yesterday. Obi contended that democracy has collapsed in the country, lamenting that the effects of it could be seen in the daily living and bleak future of Nigerian children. On the proposed coalition, the former Anambra governor replied, "For me, what is important is about the country. We must talk about the future of Nigeria. We abandon the country and all we talk about now is power grabbing." These are paragraphs from that second leading story on Daily Sun this Tuesday. Obi rejects coalition for purpose of only grabbing power in 2027. The last story on the beside the masthead of Daily Sun and on the paper cover today says Nigeria's broken past, promising future must come with price. Shetima assures on benefits of current difficulties. The story runs on page 6 of Daily Sun newspaper. With that, we also conclude the review of front headline stories on Daily Sun this Tuesday. For more, log on to www.thesun.ng. From Daily Sun, we move over to the next paper on our menu, and this paper, which incidentally is the last paper we have today to review, is Vanguard. Vanguard says hunger in the land. How price of rice rose from 2,500 naira in 2000 to 105,000 naira in 2024. Leading story on Vanguard newspaper this Tuesday. Hunger in the land. How price of rice rose from 2,500 naira in 2000 to 105,000 naira in 2024. From pyramids to paddy importation, what went wrong? Millers identify policy somersaults, insecurity, naira devaluation as limiting factors. Inflation driving up cost of paddy. Farmers canvass regional approach to production. Kickers to that leading story, we have the picture of Tinubu, President Bola Tinubu in Tanzania, and of course in handshake with the United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed during his official visit to Tanzania to attend the Africa Energy Summit yesterday. Catholic bishops to federal government, Nigeria's poverty insecurity worsening. $6.9 million tax payment, Supreme Court dismisses Halliburton's appeal. Government evade Abuja community, kidnap 5. And in sports, 2025 AFCON, Super Eagles draw Tunisia, Uganda and Tanzania. And above the masthead of Vanguard, banks closed 1.92 million accounts in 3 months. I rely on rental income from my Kaduna house, Buhari. 2027, I'm not interested in any coalition focused on grabbing power, Obi. Shettima says we'll fight corruption, fix economy, security, coming from the Vice President, Shettima. It's also on that note, we'll conclude review of front headline stories on Vanguard this Tuesday, January 28, 2025. And it's on that note also we bring the program to a close this Tuesday. My name is Winifred Ogbebo. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to join us for news on the hour on this same frequency. Thanks for joining us once again.
Get ready for the Leadership Awards and Conference 2024. Join us as we celebrate excellence across various fields, honoring those who've made remarkable impacts. Award categories include Person of the Year, Quinquennial Award for Governance and Infrastructure, Governors of the Year, Business Person of the Year, and many more. Stay updated by following us on social media and visiting our website, leadership.ng. For sponsorship and inquiries, contact us today. Leadership Award and Conference 2024, celebrating excellence, inspiring the future.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.